two things I want to say really quick. You see this little guy in the corner? He's little guy corner. That's his name. And he will be here for my videos from now on. And second thing, skip to the time stamp if you already know the basics of Coolkid, because the first half of this video is me talking about the basics of Coolkid. Anyways, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. As you saw from the title and thumbnail. In my opinion, Coolkid is one of, if not the best killer, and there's multiple reasons why. First, and this is also an analysis like guide video. You can say it's like a mix of the two. But before this, let me go over his kit real quick. Coolkid's first and most basic ability is his basic punch with a 2-second cooldown. It does 26.5 damage, but for some reason it kills as early as 27 HP. What? That makes no sense. Is it a bug or is it like some sort of passive or something? By the way, watch this. Holy fling. Okay, I'm getting off topic. His next ability is Co-op Nature on a 16-second cooldown. Upon hitting a survival, it does 15 damage, which is honestly just a cherry on top. Then it inflicts slowness 1 for 4 seconds, and the survival's outline is reviewed for Coolkid for 10 seconds. And this computes to multiple survivors. Next up, and Coolkid's best ability, we got Walk Speed Override on a 21-second cooldown. Coolkid will do a 0.5 second windup and then go extremely fast for 1.34 seconds. If Coolkid collides with a survivor, he stops dashing and does 32 base damage, burning 1 for 8 seconds, which is 15 damage for a total of 47 damage. And it highlights the survival of the Coolkid for a bit, and it's undocumented in the wiki. But as you can see in the gameplay here, it actually does highlight for a brief moment. If you hit a wall or nothing at all, you get stunned, which again is undocumented in the wiki. So I will just say a second. This is a very punishing move, so be careful when you're losing this. Coolkid's next and final ability is Peaks of Minions. It has a 50-second cooldown, and it walks to the newest survival very slowly, does 15 damage, base damage and 5 burning damage, as long as it slows them for a bit. So it's 2 for 3 seconds, for a total of 20 damage. And if they hit a survivor, they'd also review the survivor's outline of Coolkid for 15 seconds. And after 35 seconds, they disappear manually. If they hit a survivor, they also disappear. And if they're killed by certain ability to do damage except for Sentry, they'll also be killed. And LMS do not Undetectable does not work on the LMS, so don't try ghost burgling or cloning in LMS trying to go away from them. Peaks of Minions is almost not the same complexity level as Walk Speed Override. I'll talk about more in depth about how complex Peaks of Minions is once I'm done saying the basics of Coolkid, and after this Peaks of Minions section near the end of the video. Okay, before I say the last thing I want to say, just remember Peaks of Minions is very complex. People tend to say Peaks of Minions is the worst overreading ability, but it's not meant to overread. It's supposed to provide great pressure in keeping the survivors on their toes when you're not even near. And when you are near a survivor and when the Peaks of Minions are chasing the survivor that is near you, it's supposed to cut them off. If you lose it as an overreading ability, then it is the worst, but it's not meant to. It's supposed to cut survivors off and provide great pressure. Or I'd recommend never losing it as an overreading ability unless you really need to. Unless you're like last second and need to. Other than that, lose it for pressure and cutting survivors off. Phew, we're done with the basics. And if you skip to this part of the video and you didn't see the basics, hello. Anyways, this isn't really going to be organized. It will go from Co-op Nature to Peaks of Delivery. It will have like, I'll mention every ability even when we're on co-op nature walk speed or pizza delivery. Coolkid is an all-rounder. He can be a trapper sometimes, but I'd recommend switching targets a lot because Coolkid does not have the stamina or abilities to get a one-on-one chase like Slasher. Slasher's reaching pace, and his walk speed and one speed is really fast. I know Coolkid also has very fast one speed. He's very slow walk speed. No, not the ability. I mean just like his walk speed in general. Coolkid doesn't have. Sure, he has his abilities, but in a one-on-one chase, they're not the best at one-on-one chases. You're supposed to switch targets every now and then. Walk speed, override, and co-op. If you're gonna do a one-on-one chase, co-op nature is the perfect ability to lead into a chase, playing as a rushdown killer, and that transitions into the co-op nature segment, to the complex and like deep dive to co-op nature segment. I'll go from the least complex ability to the most complex ability. So we're starting with co-op nature. Co-op nature is the perfect entrance to playing rushdown. Then I'd say maybe play rushdown no more than 30 seconds, and you still can't get the survival low. Go back to switching between different survivors, because that's best. You can also do it with Noli too, but Noli has better movement. Movement and abilities for one-on-one chases. I would recommend semi-sniping. Sure, you can lose it to like very close, but semi-sniping will get you the most amount of like reward of your ability. Yeah, that's the word. Since you'll get the most amount of reward, you won't be wasting abilities just chipping down the survival. Okay, think about this. Since the survival is so close to you, will that soreness really matter? You're literally just doing an M1 that does 15 damage. But if you semi-snipe them from a distance where you can catch up, then that soreness has effect, and then that soreness has effect, and then you can catch up with the M1s. And because you'd have the stamina advantage, you'd win chase most likely. That's why I'd say to semi-snipe instead of doing it up close. Yes, if a sentinel misses, you can do co-op nature up close, but like that won't give you the best reward. That's just what I'm trying to say. Don't lose it from so far where you're gonna miss it. Lose it to a distance where you can actually utilize that soreness instead of just maybe throwing it in the dump by making the survival so far where that soreness isn't doing anything, and make the survival so close where again that soreness isn't really doing anything. Like I said, Coolkid is supposed to switch targets. If you can probably sneak a co-op nature in when a sentinel trying to help another person, or two times sneaking up behind you, or just any sentinels chasing you because they want to help those teammates. You can lose that to your advantage because now you can snipe co-op nature and getting another chase and chipping down another survival and getting damage to another survival. And if the sentinel is just a little bit low, if it's just 2-time or Jane Doe, you can probably kill them if you just sneak co-op nature in. If you thought the co-op nature in death section was long, then this is long. We're in the Peaks of Minion in death section. Peaks of Minion. One thing I say in all of my Forsaken shorts when I'm playing Coolkid, which you probably should watch my Forsaken shorts, they're pretty epics, is the second you see your stamina drain in the beginning of a round, Peaks of Minion. Instead of Peaks of Minion the split second, Peaks of Minion when you see your stamina drain, because now that the Peaks of Minion is new, you can actually provide pressure compared to when you doing the first second of the round. By the time they actually provide any real pressure is the time they have like 3 seconds before they despawn. Peaks of Minion, I view them as a second and third Coolkid that have 1 M1 in this very so, because they can start chases, they can hit multiple, they can hit a survival, and it's a perfect combo with walk speed override, because instead of soon as 1 like co-op nature, it's soon as 2, leading to an easy walk speed over 80-90 damage, because so many survivors in Forsaken have less than 90 and 80 or 80 or 100 max, less than 90, no my bad, less than 100 max health, it can lead to making them one tap to anything or instant killing them. And you might be like, but guess this the biggest counter to this ability. Well, this is what I feel about it. Yes, let's talk about charge. Charge, yeah, you can charge the survival, but I'll tell you, you can charge the minion, and because of this, you can have almost no worry about a guest charging you off a cliff. And you might be like, okay, they can just charge you off a cliff too. Well, no. Absolutely no, bro. If they charge you off a cliff, now you're free to lose pizza minions, because by the time, if you actually lose pizza minions at a good time, by the time they have charged back, there's like 5 seconds left of pizza minions being alive. And if they charge pizza minions, you have no pressure to go on cliffs, because now the guest is only wasting charge on pizza minions. And I might be like, why can't they lose blocks on pizza minions? Honestly, them blocking pizza minions is mostly a good thing. Probably good. They're wasting the only ability they have to help teammates. The only ability for them to stun the kiddo. Well, he has punch, but that's how the only way he can access his stun. The only way he can help his teammates. Well, yeah, charge, but what is charge gonna do unless you're on a cliff? Barely any, like maybe a couple steps, less than 1 stamina of distance. So, if they waste block, it's more of a good thing, because they just wasted the only ability to help support and defend themselves on just some minions, on some NPCs. So it's more of a good thing than a bad thing if they block your minions. Next in the most complex ability is Walk Speed Override. Walk Speed Override. I love this. One thing I love about, well, there's multiple, but this one thing I love about Walk Speed Override, I just love it. It's a 2-in-1 ability. It gets you distance, and it's your heavy attack. It's a 2-in-1. It's like Gashing Wound and Raging Pace combined. Unlike other skills, like I said, Slash will have it in 2 abilities. Gashing Wound as a heavy attack and Raging Pace as your distance gainer. What is that? Am I saying that like distance gainer or is it closing distance? I think it might be both. I don't know. The reason why I like this is because now you have an extra ability you can lose while having the same positives as a Raging Pace. And now you have an extra ability. It's like having Raging Pace and Gashing Wound and 1 extra ability. And no, it's not even like this ability's hard to hit. If you're good enough, you can easily predict and heck, you can even just aim it normally, because most survivals, if you're medium or close distance, can't even react to it. If you're farther distance, then I'd recommend predicting. Anything closer, then I'd recommend just aiming normally. But if you're gonna predict, don't predict like 1x mains, because those predictions are absolute buns. But yeah, just don't predict like a 1x main. That's all I ask if you're gonna predict. I'm gonna just go over some text real quick. First, the wall ride tech. Well, you position yourself right and you glide on the wall. You go much faster. You can do this with Void Rush for Noli too, but Void Rush doesn't really need it. But Walk Speed Override, since it can't turn, it is heavily affected. You'll go faster, and also you go faster, which I think is pretty nice. You see, this clip here shows a perfect example of wall riding. Okay. And also, another tech is, well, wherever you're facing is wherever your camera is. Wherever your camera is facing, or wherever you're looking, like your character is facing, that's where the knockback of Walk Speed Override goes to, making the the mini Walk Speed Override combo even easier. And because the mini Walk Speed Override combo does 90 damage, at least every survivor, dead or one tap, unless it's 130 HP chance. And I'm gonna be honest, chance is the worst survivor. That might be a hot take. Guess's block is a counterplay to walk speed override because if a guess has good reaction time, they can easily react to walk speed override. But most guess predict and don't have good reaction time. So if you do it up close, you're most likely gonna land it. Also, I do think guess is a bit of a counter to Coolkid, not as much as what everybody's saying. Everybody's been like, people have been saying the North guess heavily because how big of a counter he is to Coolkid. I don't really think that. Like I said, the Pixelmanian counter is kind of on a double-edged sword, but the only good counter he has is the walk speed override counter, and yeah, it's OP no matter. A good guess main with good reaction time will always block your walk speed. Only thing they can really do also to block walk speeds is drag or react. And most of the time you can't react. I don't think you can react to a Coolkid M1, so you can only have to drag. Don't get me wrong, drag tech is a good tech, but people has been glazing it and saying it's an S2 tech. It's not much. Actually, in my opinion, it's worse than react blocking. It's just more flashy. That's why people are glazing it. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching to the end. I don't know if any of you guys didn't see in the beginning. Check the top comment. Check the top comment. That it said to check the top comment because basically just please don't take this serious. It's just my opinion. And I've been seeing a bunch of people saying Coolkid's the best killer and he's the worst killer. Honestly, I think he's one of the best killers. Probably the best, but I might be glazing him a bit. But honestly, even then, I still think he's one of the best. At least top 3 or 2. Anyways, guys, yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe because my goal is 250 subscribers for summer. And I'll be posting a special video at 230 subscribers, and we're 5 away with that. That's pretty epic. And comment down below if you prefer these longer, more well edited and more well videos, like well edited, more effort videos. They'll just take longer. They're longer than my usual videos, and they'll just take longer to make. And yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, and bye bye.